what's going on YouTube? The Bearded Baron here, bringing you guys a new player guide. In today's video, we are going to deep dive on the Maple Lodge campsite. I have put the difficulty on professional, and we have set it up to where we're going to see each and every one of the cursed objects. I'm going to show you some of the best places that a professional with 3,500 hours in Phasmo has actually hidden, and where are the best places that you can hide, regardless of where the ghost is, regardless of what difficulty you're playing this on. This guide will help you out. So if you like this video, please give it a like, share it with a friend. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So like I said, we put it on professional mode because we're actually going to go through a match here, and we're going to try to get 3 pieces of evidence. Right? My three go-to items are a flashlight, EMF reader, and a camera. The reason why we bring in the camera early game is so that way we can... it helps us to be able to get those bone photos, get the cursed object photos, anything along those lines. Now, as far as cursed objects are concerned, we're going to be going around. I'm going to showcase all the cursed object locations while we are trying to find the ghost room at the same time. First one that we've got up here is the haunted mirror. Now, the haunted mirror is great. We can pick that up, and we can hold it open just like that, and it's going to show us exactly where the ghost is. So I know, just by looking at it for a brief second, that the ghost is in some kind of a tent. Now, that does drop down my sanity by 20%, so we need to keep that in mind. Right? Now, another pro tip that we can use as we are going around investigating, any of these tent flaps, rather than actually opening and closing the tent flaps, like so, if the tent flap is open, we can double-click on the tent flap and it will automatically close it. So if you're having a hard time actually being able to drag this over to get it to close for whatever reason, you can just double-click and it'll close it. Floppy Frank is in our first little campfire area here as well. We're going to go in a clockwise motion. Right? Now, we've got the bathhouse. In the middle of the bathhouse is our next cursed object. That is going to be our Ouija board. Ouija board is located right there. Now, as we keep moving around here, we're going to, like I said, we're going to keep looking for the, our cursed objects. We're also going to see if there's a ghosty here. One of the pro tips that we can do is we can stand behind the tent, right, like so. Anytime that there's an open tent flap at all, you can always, one of these smaller tents, you can actually just dive right in here and you protect yourself, right? So we can easily get a photo, just like that. Boom. Now, there is a specific blinking pattern for the ghost. If you would like to know how to get even better ghost pictures more often, I can show you guys. We can do a deep dive on the blinking pattern of a ghost so that way you can time your photos correctly. This will almost guarantee that you will get a ghost photo every single time. So we're going to let this finish here. Come on. There we go. Now, this tent flap, if this tent was open, this tent actually can stop the hunts dead in its tracks. It's because of a pathing thing for the ghost that is an issue. Let's see. Let's close up this tent flap. It's in one of these tents, I believe. Somewhere over here. Yep, it's in this tent. So we found the ghost room. Perfect. Now, this leads us to our next cursed object, the music box. The music box is in the smaller campfire area. So the way to look at the Maple Lodge campsite is there's kind of, I look at it as 2 kind of giant circles, right? The one circle is the pathway that we just did, leading back through the main center area here. So we can walk out and around till we get back to the back side of this and then come back through. There's the other side as well that loops back over by the cabin and comes back around this way as well. Mally Bean, thank you for the 33 months. So, that's an early hunter, so that's likely, this is probably something like a mare, would be my guess. But we're going to take up our sanity, right? I'm saying mare because it was an early hunt. Early hunts, mares can do it at 65%. Could also just be a demon or something along those lines. So we're going to bring in Spirit Box. We're going to check for ghost orbs and ghost writing. If nothing else, if this is a demon, we'll see freezing temps. but we'll also get that ghost right in as well. So then we're going to continue on, and I will show you guys what other kind of cursed objects that we've got as well down over on this side. So there is a lot of great areas that we can pick from. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks with the monkey paw here in a minute. We have orbs. So we see the orbs that's leaning towards it being a mimic. Where are you? Where are you? How old are you? Are you here? There's a spirit box. So we got spirit box and we got ghost orbs, just like that. If we get ghost right in here in just a second, then we will know for sure that this is a mare, like I was expecting it would be. So just like that, we're going to head back out. Now, if you have tier 3 headgear, I do recommend getting the night vision goggles. They're super useful for as far as not having an item slot to be able to walk around with, or even level 2 will give you that additional flashlight. So I do recommend bringing that along. Hopefully the devs at some point in time will set it up to where we can get maybe an empty slot or a different slot for the flashlight itself. That would be a great thing. Now, what we are going to do is I'm going to bring in these crucifixes just so that we can put them down. And I'm going to show you guys where the last 3 cursed objects are. We've talked about the mirror. We've talked about the voodoo doll, the Ouija board, and the music box. Now we're going to cover over the tarot cards, the monkey paw, and the summoning circle. Okay, so we're going to walk over here. We're going to throw that down. I'm also just going to throw one down over here into the area as well. And I'm going to show you. Now, one of the things that I like with this map, especially with this map, is that you have to contend with the weather a whole lot. But if you have the monkey paw, you can always ask it a question like this. I wish for sunrise. Now, this does drain your sanity, but as you can tell, we've changed around the weather. So that's super helpful for us. If you're having a hard time with the weather and you get a monkey paw, you can definitely do that. Next cursed object that we're going to be dealing with is the tarot cards. They're going to be located over on the picnic tables right next to the cabin, and they're right here. Not my personal favorite. In fact, they're the worst ones, in my opinion, for the cursed objects because it's the only one that can instantly unalive you. To get inside the cabin, you need to pick up the key off the floor in the right in front of the launch, and this leads us to our last cursed object, which is the summoning circle. So that's all of the summoning circles that are available. What's up, Twisted? Hey, thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate it. So that's all the cursed objects that we have. We've found the ghost now. A couple of really good hiding areas. We'll just start back over here in the back. These little dividers here are actually really good for breaking line of sight. If you're good at listening for the ghost, you can actually hide behind these, and as the ghosts pass, you can move around them to give yourself a little bit of time. Those are pretty good. Those will be here regardless of your sanity. Walking down towards the end of the dock will get you killed if the ghost is hunting from that or that way, so keep that in mind. Right? Turning on the power for the cabin itself. There's nothing in here that actually does really good for as far as keeping you alive. Most everything in here is likely to get you killed just because there's not great hiding places. I'll be honest, I don't remember if this spot is actually good as a hiding spot because of how bad the whole area is. I tend to not go back here. So I don't know if the ghost can actually path over here if it can see you over this way or not. The outside area back here, the ghost can see you from down below. So if the ghost does see you, it will make its way up here and unalive you. And these areas, like this one here in the bathroom, are not that great because even if I shut the door and hide back over here in the corner, if the ghost comes into this room, it's found us and we're cooked either way. What I recommend instead is being out someplace like outside, because that gives you the most amount of flexibility to be able to get away. At least we can be able to run. We can break a line of sight, keep the ghost from being able to speed up. So again, if you're in a pinch, these little divider areas, pretty good. Now, moving our way down over into the storage area. One of the really good spots is inside of the porta-john here. Now, as you can see, this one is blocked off, so it's not something that you can utilize all the time. These boxes are a death trap, but behind the barrels over here, you can actually break line of sight from the ghost. But this is very tricky because if the ghost pops out on either side, it can see you. Sometimes there are a couple of other containers over here, like you see on this side. Most of the time, these are available, so you can duck behind here to be able to break line of sight from the ghost and be able to hide. Keep in mind, however, if the ghost sees you go back behind one of those areas, it will find you and it will unalive you. I've had mixed success with this desktop area over here with the desk itself for the ghost actually being able to find us. So I don't necessarily recommend anywhere inside of this building. It's kind of all of a death trap. Another really good spot is this like little divider right here. As you can see, it basically makes like a nice little neat pocket. Right? We have this nice little neat pocket back here. We can hide back in here. The ghost is not likely to path all the way back around here to this side to be able to see us. So there's that. Now, a pro spot, and this is technically a glitch spot, so keep that in mind. It can get patched out. As of right now, though, it has not. Is this spot right here. I know that it looks really weird. However, if the ghost decides to hunt us, we can actually loop the ghost back around because the ghost can't actually path back and forth between the light post or the post right here and the picnic table. So it has to go around. So if the ghost is coming around this way, we step on this side. The ghost is now forced to come around onto the other side. And so we can simply just go back and forth like this and indefinitely just keep the ghost stuck in that area. So that's kind of a professional spot because not a lot of people know about that and know how to utilize it. Small tents are obviously going to be your personal favorite, especially because you can just walk behind them like this and the ghost cannot get you. If you don't feel like glitching it out at all, you can also just close up the tent flaps. They work the same way as well. You can just click on them and they will automatically close up. These areas, again, great areas to go with. The bad areas that I say are these like little picnic areas back behind here. I've had really bad success with going back behind these areas. I don't recommend it. Tents as well, they're death traps. Large tents, death traps. Small tents, they're good to go. The bathroom area here, I might actually be able to show you that spot. The bathroom area here, hiding inside of the bathrooms themselves, shutting up the doors, these are pretty good. Right, these are okay. If the ghost does open the door, though, these act like any of the other bathrooms that you might experience, like on the high school or on the prison maps. It's right here. We got to make sure you keep that door closed, though. All right, so, perfect. This middle area in between the two, obvious death trap, don't go down there. And then rounding it back off, we've got more of the bathrooms on that side. Again, you can hide back over in those areas. There is another glitch spot as well, and that is located over here. That is located back over this way behind this table right here. So we can actually go back and forth between this spot, and again, the ghost does not know how to path back and forth between there, so it keeps it kind of locked, going back and forth between the two. So let's go back out. We're going to grab some sanity to keep the ghost from being able to hunt us. So we've covered over hiding places. We've covered over cursed object locations. Now I'm going to talk about Easter eggs. One of the biggest Easter eggs that we can get. This is one of the maps with the most amount of Easter eggs. I'm going to show you guys some of the more popular Easter eggs on this map as well, because there are a lot of them. So first off, up here on this main map board over here that we can see, hopefully I have the power still on. Nope, it's not. All right, perfect. We can actually see the Point Hope Lighthouse. So this was an Easter egg pointing towards the new lighthouse map that they eventually came out with, Point Hope. So this right here was a big indicator that Point Hope was going to be making an appearance. Over on the campfire side, up against the wall, there is a Blair Witch Project little stick figurine right here. So that right there is a Blair Witch Project. That is also a nod to another horror movie. There's going to be a few of those in this map. Inside the bathrooms. Inside the bathrooms up here on the... It's kind of hard to see. But there are little hearts on the bathrooms, and that is a little Saw reference. Out here on the tank, there's little hearts on the tanks. That is a Saw reference nod. Now, one of the other things that can spawn on this map, I have not seen him yet, but we can also get Slenderman. Slenderman will be outside of the playable area, but he'll be in one of several different locations if he does decide to spawn, so you can actually see him. And we're going to make our way downtown over this way. Another one that I wanted to talk about, the book in here, which is kind of hard to read. You kind of need to zoom in on yourself, but the book over here actually talks about Jeffrey Dahmer, I believe, is in the book as somebody who checked in here. So, I want to say it's Jeffrey Dahmer. I believe it's a serial killer of some kind that is signed into the book. Now getting into the more obscure ones, obscure Easter eggs that we have, right? Down at the end of the dock, we have 2 different Easter eggs. One is the Jason mask, which is down here at the end of the dock. If you come down over here into the end, this is like the Camp Crystal Lake. Boom, there's the Jason mask popping up there, giving a look at you. The other one is, if you look at it straight on, so we're looking back over here in these set of trees. If you look straight on at it, you actually don't see it. But if we turn our head just enough, you can see the Point Hope map become visible. So that's Point Hope showing itself, but you can only see it out of the corner of your eye. Now, this one is probably one of the most obscure ones on this map, and a lot of people won't know about this. This goes back to the original, the OG Phasmophobia players. There is a dead body underneath the cabin. So this dead body back here, in the original lobby for Phasmophobia, there was a tiny little gremlin, like shadow figure, that was up in the rafters. And if you took a UV light and shined it up into the rafters, when this map first dropped, it said that I was underneath the cabin at Maple Lodge. So that is a nod to that character's being dead underneath the cabin in Maple Lodge. Most people don't know about it because they changed up the lobbies. They got rid of the little demonic creature. And so that one just kind of became a sort of a legend that only the OG folks actually remember. Now, an event that can happen inside of the cabin here, it's actually a really cool one. It does not happen all too often, but if the ghost turns on the TV for whatever reason, if you turn off the TV, then what will happen is the phone will ring. That is a nod to the Ring franchise about watching the movie, and then when you're done watching the movie, then the phone rings. So that is one. That is one as well. I don't think there's any hidden Easter eggs over on the storage area, so that kind of rounds off Maple Lodge. So that is all of the best hiding places, all of the Easter eggs that I can remember off the top of my head, as well as what are the best places to hide and Easter eggs for Phasma. And it just turned off the power again. It's a mare. Why wouldn't it turn off the power? So, hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, if you want me to go into more depth on other videos as well, or other locations, let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear about it. I appreciate you guys here. I appreciate you guys watching. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys in the next video.